Looks hot over there, mate.
It's nice weather. Been nice weather this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. Well, Fahrenheit, it was in the 80s yesterday. I know that for a fact. All right.
Where are you based?
I'm in Massachusetts.
I'm in Texas. I'm used to 105 degrees every bloody day.
It's 90 here today.
That's right enough.
I had a full head of hair when I came to Texas. I went out the first day. It seems the whole fucking lot off.
All right, we're here with Dom. Just gonna and Wayne, obviously. Just gonna mention our sponsors real quick. Have these nice mugs with our logo on it, which is really cool. Made by drinkwaredesign.com. There's a link in the description below. Please click on it and order yourself. You can put whatever you want on these damn cups. You can write I love Dom. You can put I heart Wayne or whatever you want on there. All right.
All these are best.
All these are best, yeah. Or West Ham makes me drink, right, Wayne?
Yeah. West Ham or why I drink for definite.
Oh shit! All right. So the other thing, the stuff that fills this cup every episode is Strava Craft Coffee. It's CBD oil coffee. Really good stuff. There's, I think today's the last day that you can get that 15% off coupon if you enter Hammers15 in checkout. So links in the description below. And please, Strava Craft, send me some more coffee. I'm almost out. Thank you. Anyway, Dom, what's going on, Dom? How's the weather? Looks good.
It's glorious. Who needs a holiday?
Speaking of holiday, man, you were just in Italy, man, right?
I was.
Yeah.
Is that why you're sporting the Italia cap there?
Yeah. This is a souvenir, and it's actually coming really used because it's really hot over here, and I don't want to get sunburnt on my head, so does have its uses.
All right, so let's start off with how did you get into West Ham? How did you become a West Ham supporter?
When I was about, I would have been 7 or 8. So I actually didn't like football when I was that age. However, I played for a kids team called Lee Ramblers, where I live in Lee, in Essex, and I didn't really show any interest, but I happened to be quite good. So my granddad took me to football club every Sunday, and he was a big West Ham fan, a massive West Ham fan. Like I was back, he used to go a lot in the 60s, and he ended up buying me the old Dr. from 99, 2001 or something. The one Di Canio's famously known for wearing, that one.
Did we lose him?
And I remember
We're having the usual Skype issues here again, aren't we?
Yeah. It's like
blue.
Hold on a second, Dom. Hold on 1 second.
The sky blue color.
Hold on a second, okay? The connection's not good right now. Let me let me do something real quick.
And yeah, so from then on, that's how we came into West Ham. But unfortunately, he passed away a few months later. So, I never got that opportunity to go to a game with him. But yeah, no,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we got a little fuzzy there for a second. Actually, it was kind of funny.
I can't tell if Wayne's moving or not. Yeah, now I can.
All right.
He just stood staring, slightly moving his eyes.
What was funny was when your whole answer was like everything was slowed down. So
it was like watching an episode of The Matrix.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I definitely, we heard your granddad bought you pretty much a kit from the DeCanio era, and that's really all I made out of it. So sorry.
So you were introduced to West Ham by your granddad, same as I was, almost the same age as, actually exactly the same age. I was 7 years of age when my granddad took me to my first West Ham match as well. So
I never got to go to a game with him though. My first match was, I don't know, I must have been about 12, 13 to be honest. But no, I mean, he got me into it, but you know, he passed away not long after I was just starting to get into football, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
But you know, as I started to get into it, I'd always, you know, keep an eye out for the results, check the newspapers, look into a bit of history. And I remember every time we were on the telly, I was too nervous to watch it. So I'd turn it off, and you know, I'd turn it back on, and we were losing, and I was like, "This is why I didn't want to watch it." And it was, so yeah, it's you know, you never look back, really, do you? And I do remember when we got promoted in 2005. I would have been about 10 years old then, and I feel like it was a really good moment because I was in primary school. You know, and I remember there was 4 of us who were big West Ham fans. You know, and and I didn't really understand what the playoffs were. I thought, because I remember us winning against Watford in the last game of the season. We won 2-1. I think that snuck us in at the last. And I thought that was it done. So I think my dad explained the playoffs to me. I didn't really understand it. But then that was with Ipswich and the famous Zamora double.
Yeah, Zamora was a great player.
Win the next game and go up.
Yeah.
I got my second West Ham kit was from that promotion season. I got his name on the back. Love Bobby Zamora, his childhood hero. Him and Harewood are my childhood hero.
Oh yeah, I think it's lovely the way that Harewood has actually stuck around with the club as well, and still does things for the club every once in a while. Oh, Dom's frozen up on us. Oh, we never have any luck with Skype, do we, Tim? I can't even hear you now, Tim.
Well, that's because I had my mic off and I forgot to put it back on. Yeah. Dom, man. How about what was it? Do we do the try turning it on and off again, or I don't know? Fuck me, Skype. You know, what are we gonna do when Hangouts goes away? You know, and have to like rely on this.
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something out. Well, apologies to anyone that's watching right now because this is out of our control right now. Skype is just doing a wobbler on us. That's brutal, absolutely brutal. And it was you know, we've been waiting to get Dom on here because you know he's got some really great stories about you know how we got into it. You seeing if we can get him back in again?
Yeah. Yep.
Hello.
Hey.
We got you, Dom. Apologies, mate. This Skype seems to do us a dodgy one every single time we try it.
Yeah, we had.
Sorry about that.
That's not your fault, mate.
It's not your fault. The last time we had, you know, we were really excited. We had Jack Collison on the show, and it was the same thing. Like me and my co-host were fine, but Jack kept freezing up. You know, I don't know. Shit.
Can we pull him in, Tim?
He's in, man. He can hear us. He just needs to put his.
I can hear you, boys. Yeah, I can hear you.
Get your click your camera on. See if that does it.
Oh yeah, here we go. Hello, you see me now?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, mate.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to. Should I just stop and start it again? What should I do?
I think just leave it the way you got it, mate. We'll just
Yeah,
continue
okay.
where
Right.
we're from. I tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click my camera off because maybe it'll loosen up the stream a little bit and won't have to worry about it too much. How does that sound?
Yeah, it would also, Wayne, when we're not. I mean, the main thing is when we're not. Just let him talk. We'll put ourselves on mute.
Yep, sounds good.
I think that should do okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, gotcha. And where were we at?
We were talking about Zamora. You said that was the first kit you actually got, then, Don?
Yeah.
No. There's a second kit.
Second kit.
Zamora was the first name I had on the back of a kit. The first kit was no. It's my third kit. Sorry, because I ended up getting the own Dr. Martens as well. There's a picture of me wearing it when I was, 6? So the blue one that my granddad got me could well have been the second, actually. But Zamora from 2004 to 5 season was definitely the third, and then the first one on the back. I got that for my birthday at some stage, yeah. Because him and Harewood, childhood heroes of mine. Absolutely love them too. I see Harewood at Fulham away, and player was last year. You know, it's just great. I'm a bit taken aback, to be honest, because that's finally meeting.
No, you said did you actually get to meet Marlon Harewood?
Yeah. I was stood in front of him at Fulham away last season, and I see him at the Player Awards in 2018. So last season's Player Awards, not the one just got on the year before. Had a chat with him. I turned around and said to him, I remember you scoring goals to get us up in 2005, and I'll never forget that goal at Villa Park in 2006 to send us to the FA Cup final, you know, because he was a very good player for us.
Yeah, I met him too. He was a very nice guy. You know, I think it was the Everton home match, the last match of the 2017-18 season, and very approachable, very approachable. Shook his hand and everything, man. He was really sweet. He actually gave me his business card, AC13, for his luxury car dealership. I don't know what he does exactly, but he gave me his business card. It was really cool of him. Really nice guy. Anyway, so I guess I've never had a name on my jersey, only for the fact that transfers and also players that you get really excited about that come in, they end up becoming shitheads. You know, I remember actually I remember being excited about players like Arnie and Chicharito and they just either don't pan out or they're just shit, and then you end up stuck with their name on the back of your shirt. So I always try to avoid that. I just leave it blank. But
to be honest with you, I'm at the age now where I wouldn't get anyone on the back. I think the last player I got on the back of a kit was Yossi Benayoun when he come back in 2012.
Yeah,
and I love that guy. Because he had a spell with us at first, and again like Harewood and Zamora and one of you, well, not an original but close, Yeah, and he was such an underrated player. The way he played football, his little drag back skills, he had some good little vision, And then he left, and we got Craig Bellamy, and it's a bit of a. To be honest, Bellamy wasn't all that bad, but I liked Benayoun, and when he came back, I was buzzing, but things didn't work out. And then at the end of that season, he's lifting the Europa League with Chelsea, so it's a bit of a regret.
Another one that not many people liked or loved really, that was really good, a good role player, was Gary O'Neill. Man, that little bastard could defend. He could put sneaky passes in there. And, he was instrumental in our first year back up after the 2011-12 season. Yeah.
He was underrated.
Very.
I remember when we signed him, it was in the 2011 winter transfer window. That was the season we got relegated. And at the time, Middlesbrough were in the Championship. And I was like, what the hell is this? Why have we signed this guy? And he didn't really do much until we dropped into the Championship. So it shows that was probably about his level. And he was a bit of a, sporadic player, but you're right, when we did get promoted, he stepped in when we had a lot of injuries. And I remember he scored a very, very good goal against West. First time strike, went over the keeper, bang. But then he left, and I do remember actually. I remember the start of the season after, I bumped into a couple of QPR fans on the train, and we got into a conversation. I remember telling them, like, Gary O'Neill's a good signing for you. And I will be honest though, gents, I don't know how he fared after he left us. I think he ended up at Bristol City or Norwich.
Yeah, and he's with Bolton now. That's yeah. He was one of the players that was
6-man squad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unfortunately, but no, he did okay with Norwich too, in Championship anyway. Yeah, he's had a couple of decent spells, but again, like you said, not that he's inconsistent. It's just that he didn't really. How do you put it? When the manager's putting out his 11, on his team sheet, they're not thinking Gary O'Neill, But when he does play, he plays. He does some tricky shit.
Not
does
very
all right.
Technically good, but always one who always good work rate from players like that. Bit like Snodgrass today.
Exactly.
Well, that's interesting because we've picked up a few players over the years that you've looked at, and I've certainly gone, what the hell have we done here? Why the hell have we picked that person up? And they've turned out to be a right little gem. And you just mentioned Snodgrass. Who would you say would be one of those gems that we've picked up? And and at first look, you thought, cool, blimey, we've picked up a piece of shit, and they've turned out to be a right little diamond for us. Who would you rate, Dom?
That's a good question, to be honest, because we've picked up so much shit in the last few years. It's hard to think of one that's actually been good. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I would say, definitely not Jordan Hugill. Definitely not Andy Carroll. Definitely not.
See, I'm doing one. It'd be easy to point the question around the other way and say, what do you think was going to be a diamond and turned out to be a lump of dog crap? So that would be too easy to answer that one.
Yeah, Byram, it was so rated from Leeds, man. Like we thought, I thought, because he did fantastic at Leeds. I thought we were getting something awesome. He was young, very quick, but God Almighty, he reminds me a lot of Fredericks because he can't string a pass.
I'll tell you what, I will answer a question. Darren Randolph, because I remember he was obviously he was signed as backup, but he played. He had a shocker in a few pre-season games and in the Europa League, second loss to Astra, and he wasn't very good. And I remember when Adrian got sent off in the second game of the season, we were like, oh God, we're stuck around for 3 games. And but no, he turned out all right, and then he played in the cups, and then he got his breakthrough the following season, and he wasn't all that bad. A lot of people criticise him. Yeah, we sold him because we signed another goalkeeper along with Adrian, so there's no place for him anymore. But he was called upon, like when it mattered sometimes, and he done all right. He weren't all terrible like we all expected him to be. Because this is a geezer who he's played his football in Motherwell and Hereford a few years before he signed for us.
Yeah, he didn't do terrible at all for us, but now the national team, on the other hand, he was garbage. I mean, every time I would tune in and watch, because I loved Rendell too as a player for us, but then every time I would tune into an Ireland match, I mean, he'd be letting in the simplest, easiest goals. He reminds me a lot of just our goalkeepers in general. They make the sickest saves, the nastiest saves, but they let the easiest shots in. It's like fundamentals, And I don't know if it was just a bigger stage of, for the national team that he just didn't perform as well. But for us, you're right. He definitely, overperformed for us.
I ain't saying he was perfect because I remember he dropped 2 absolute clangers at Sunderland away. He let that go in directly from the corner, and he dropped a cross which was easier to catch, and they led to their goal. But he got an assist for a win. You don't do that every day, do you?
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Don, but Tim's a bit of a Fabianski hater.
Really? Really?
I'm a goalkeeper hater, really, for the most part. They have one job, and that's to not concede. And when they make, I don't care how many saves they make, but when they make the simple, nothing aggravates me more than seeing a goalkeeper give in the easy shots. Like let in the easy ones. And listen, we don't know. I'm sorry, West Ham supporters in general don't realize that. They don't take into consideration that he lets in all the easy ones because he leads the league in saves. So, yeah, that's fantastic. But for those 53 goals he conceded this last season, I'd say 40 of them were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I can only think of one he should have done better at, to be honest, and that was Cardiff's second goal when we lost 2-0. He was a bit out of position, weren't he?
Actually, the first half. So basically, the first half of the season, before Boxing Day, I guess he was just getting settled in with the defense, and obviously the defense kept changing. Obviously, we didn't really have a set center, defensive line, but no, he let in a lot of easy ones, and that frustrates me. My point is, I don't hate Fabianski. I love Fabianski. I'm so glad he's our goalkeeper and nobody else's. My point was, I didn't think he was Hammer of the Year because I voted for Declan Rice. I thought Declan finally stepped into his own. He showed glimpses of being like the next Bobby Moore, with his just calmness and just composure more than anything else. He just, out of any Hammer, he's now, he exudes being a Hammer more than a Fabianski does. I could see Declan being here for years if we don't sell him, versus, Fabianski over time, he's going to degrade. But Declan is our man.
You've also got to look at that Fabianski's about 15 years older than Declan Rice. He's 34, 35 now.
I know.
So, he's obviously not going to be here for many years to come because he'll probably retire. But I would say, he's for after 1 year, he's a fantastic goalkeeper for us. He made so many good saves last season. Now, I didn't really notice him make many errors or see too many weak goals last season, apart from the one I mentioned at Cardiff. But I thought he deserved Hammer of the Year because he won us so many points, and some of the saves he made were incredible. Like someone like Alisson or David De Gea makes a save like that, you wouldn't hear the end of it from the media or Twitter. So very good signing, 7 million as well.
Yeah, I'm winding Tim up a lot. I mean, Tim loves him. It's just Tim harps on about the fact that the saves, the goals that you let in. Yeah, Tim loves him just as much.
Exactly. Just at the same time, it's just it's like an ongoing running joke with it's an inside joke, I guess you say, with this whole show. That and also
Tim's just easy to wind up.
James Tompkins is another one that we have an inside joke about, like a running thing where
I used to like James Tompkins. I think he's signed for Crystal Palace. So
that's the one player. If I ever get another name or number on my jersey, it's going to be him. I don't care what year it is. I don't care if he's with the team or not. That's my favorite player of all time, James Tompkins. Yeah, I gravitate towards defenders. I love a good, solid defender that can score with his head, and also just score with his feet. Just a guy who can be awesome on set pieces as well, and he epitomized that. Not only that, he was an academy player. So when he left, that crushed me, man. Crushed me.
It was sad to see him go. I do agree with you, but he's proper grown into a Palace boy now by the looks of things. It's his club.
Yeah,
it's fair enough. But
that's Tompkins, though, isn't it, Dom? That's Tompkins. He embraces the club he's at. He gets the supporters. He gets the club. And he understands it. He totally throws himself 100% into wherever he's playing at.
He's one of them who works very hard. He was a good player for us. Like in that end 2012, instrumental. Yeah. But I just really don't like Crystal Palace.
No, I hate Palace. Sellers Park is such a shithole. It really is.
I thought you said it was a piss hole. A piss pot. Smells like piss, you said.
Yeah, it does smell of piss. It does smell of piss. I mean, I remember going back there back in the 80s and the 90s, and it from the moment you get out at Southern Rail there, it smells of piss. It just smells of piss. Piss and kebab shops is what it smells like around there. So it's bloody awful. But you mentioned Snodgrass a while ago. I mean, he's one of my all-time comeback type of favourites, and I think he just he epitomises to me like a little bit of West Ham. He's like he's grit. He fights. For me. I mean, I got him on the back of my shirt the other this year. I didn't put his name because if I put a player's name on the back of a shirt, he fucked off. So I put Messi on the back of the shirt this year. But
yeah.
where do you see where do you see him fitting in the squad next year with all of these midfielders and all of these class players that we've got picking up? Would you keep him or would you let him go?
No, keep him because he's a useful. A couple like us isn't exactly blessed with luck with no injuries, so we're obviously going to have lots of injuries. And I think the midfield right now, if you're looking at box-to-box base, not attacking, there's too many weak links. And I think Snodgrass obviously he's traditionally a winner, but his legs have gone for that. And he towards the end of last season in the middle, he was very, very good. And like you say, he likes to tackle. And I noticed this when we first signed him in January 2017. I noticed how much he liked to tackle. That loan to Aston Villa done him the world of good. If he didn't go out on loan to Villa and he stayed with us, because when we signed him, he weren't the best signing. And when he was playing in pre-season before he went to Aston Villa, you could just tell he was absolutely terrible. So that loan at Aston Villa really did him the world of good. And he's come back. You know what? Fair play to him. He put his head down. He waited for his chances. And he came in. And I thought he was a bit up and down. But after what happened when he first signed and with Mr. Sullivan talking ill of him, he had a good season.
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head there. He reminds me a little bit of John Moncur. He's got that sort of like that attacking attitude. He doesn't give a shit. It's like he's the sort of player that you think would probably go for a couple of pints before a match and just go get stuck in.
Yeah, and he takes a nasty corner too. Like I love watching him, take a good corner in. But so in set pieces, he's fantastic. But not just that. Even when he's not taking the corner or even on a free kick, he's in there. He muscles his way in there, and even if he's not the one scoring the goal, he definitely makes his presence known and takes other players out of it. So he's just a great role player, really.
Yeah, he's good at set pieces. He's useful.
Very.
If you need something off the bench for the last 5 minutes, he's an option.
So what do you think about this one? I would rather see Antonio go because Antonio is getting up there in age as well, and if we're going to get any money off of him in the next couple of years, this would be the time to do it. He had a good last few games last season, so that's fresh in people's minds. We could definitely. My point is, he's very inconsistent, just like anybody else in the team has been. Where he was non-existent for a good 5 games here, 6 games there, but then he'll have a miraculous smashing goal against Liverpool, and that bullshit draw that we had with them, and but then he'll be non-existent again, and then he'll come back and have a great last 4 or 5 games. That doesn't help the club really in a whole. Like if we're gonna make any money off of him, now would be the time to get rid of him, right? Or no?
I disagree. I disagree because if you want to get rid of money, what's it going to be? 10 million at most, I'd say. And that's purely because of his age. Now, 3 years ago, he would have been worth a lot more than 10 million. You'd probably be looking at 30 because that was just straight off the bat of the Bolin season where he was very good. Now, obviously, he struggled with injuries a lot in the last few seasons. And I'll be honest with you, I would have sold him after his terrible performances at the start of last season. But, he's obviously Pellegrini's done a job with him. You can see that. He looks a lot fitter. He looks like the Antonio Volk. He gets you goals. I think if we're to sell him, and then obviously Hernandez is on his way out by the looks of things, that leaves us with one striker. So we want to go. So that's another signing to look for to replace, and it's someone we could really do without. So I'll just keep him because he's useful. He's like Snodgrass. He's turned around from after a year of very, very poor ball and a start from the season of very, very bad stuff, and he has really improved. And like I said, he gets you goals.
Yeah, see, I agree with you on that, Dom, and this is my theory on Antonio. I think the same reason why I love him as a player, and I got a man crush on him from that first time he played for us back in the 15-16 season when he sped down that right wing and just like went for it. But the same reason why I love him is also the same reason why he frustrates the living crap out of me when he does something like a plonker. But I think those same reasons are why he's such a good player for us, because I think when he goes out there, opposing teams have got no clue what the hell is going on with him. They don't know what the hell he's going to do, because he'll do something totally erratic that your normal everyday striker is not going to do.
Like
yeah, like Sky the ball. Yeah, like I picked
up to outer space. Yeah,
I was going to say, like I picked up a ball in my back garden here in Texas the other day, and I think it was the ball that he kicked over the top of the goal the other day. I really do. He's that sort of player. But I think that is a good reason to keep him. And like you said, I don't think we get that much for him. And I think he's an all-round great squad player, and he fills in.
Yeah,
and he's got great heart.
So where do you think he fits? Where do you see him fitting?
I think he's hungry as well. I think he's proper. I'd say sub on the wing if we don't sign, because although in Yarmolenko's fit, I'd start Yarmolenko over him. But he's an impact player. He's useful. You can utilise him a lot. Right back. Obviously, he's not the best at right back, but he's played enough times there to, have a slight understanding how to play there.
Yeah.
Up front, he holds the box. On the wing, got pace, and he's very strong. So I would start him on the bench with our current squad at the moment. With everyone fit, he starts on the bench for me.
Okay. So let's change direction here and talk about how did you get hooked up with the West Ham Fan TV guys? Did you know them outside of that, or did you just meet them via the fan cams that you've been on a million times, or how does that work out?
I met him after a game. I met him in the at the bowling, outside the John Lyle gates. I'll tell you what game it was actually. It was when we played Everton at home. We drew 1-0. It was the game when James McCarthy broke Dimitri Payet's ankle. And he was out for 3 months after that. And so, yeah, a lot of people seem to think the first time I went on there was after we lost to Astra with the big rank. But it was that was the first time I met them. I knew of them because I'd seen them standing about. And I liked what they did, and I thought I'd get have my say. When I was there, I quite enjoyed talking, and I bump into them more and more. I'd see them more and more, and end up getting to know them. And yeah, since then we've always gotten very well. They're good friends of mine.
Yeah. So you have you posted pictures on Instagram the other day, and I noticed that I recognized the face. I don't know the guy's name that you were with. It's not a West Ham Fan TV guy, but he had his own show on his own YouTube show. I forgot his name, but he basically, do you know who I'm talking about? You posted pictures recently on your Instagram, and there was a dude, you basically saying you were talking about how you missed, or you get the off-season blues or something like that. And one of the guys in that picture that you were sitting with,
yeah.
He used to have a YouTube show, didn't he? I swear to God, he had a YouTube show. Luke, that's his name. I was going to say, yes, that dude, Luke. Yeah. Because actually, I saw you first on one of his shows.
Okay.
Yeah, before I even...
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest, about Luke. He obviously used to do his vlogs, and they were...
Vlogs, yeah.
Luke likes his editing. He's a very good editor. Before I started getting the hang of it, I asked him to edit. My editing for my videos was nowhere near as good as his, because he knows how to do it. But I don't see his videos. But yeah, you know, I like watching Luke's videos because you know it's sort of like you're playful, you got games together, and you'd review it by watching it back.
Yeah, no. Like I said, that was the first time I saw you. Then obviously I saw you on West Ham Fan TV many times, and also another West Ham Fan TV fan cam guy that we're going to have on July 8th. We're going to have Marshy. He's going to join us. Yeah, so that'll be fun, you know. But no, the West Ham Fan TV guys have all been awesome to us. We've had Ryan, we've had Nikki, we've had Dan. We haven't had Scott yet because he's been on holiday for what seems to be a month. And yeah, exactly. And which we'd love to have Graham on too, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I don't know that we'd have enough like widescreen angles to be able to get Graham's eyebrows on. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I knew one of you were going to mention.
Yeah. No, but again, they've been nothing but supportive of us and helping, you know, giving us tips and whatnot. And since we started this back in January, and same thing with the Hammers Chat guys, we've had almost every one of them on as well, and they've been nothing but supportive. It's a great community. The West Ham supporters. I actually, just so you know, that Everton match. It was the Everton match that I actually visited. Yeah, it was 2017-18 season. It was the last home game of the season, last game of the season, really, of the 2017-18 season. I was right behind you in line for the fan cam, and you were looking at me kind of funny, so I said, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "Wow, you." Yeah. I said, "What did I say?" I said something like, "Oh, you're much taller in person," and you're like, "Oh yeah." Oh, and that was it. That was all I had to say.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, from Boston.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you. Yeah. It's all coming back to me now.
Oh, don't tell him that, Dom. We'll never fucking hear the last of it now.
Who's this fucking geezer talking about how tall I am? What the fuck is this?
What he ain't telling you, Tim, is that he went into the pub afterwards, and he said he probably was talking to his mates and saying that some fucking wanker from Boston was behind me. Fucking freaked me out, no end. Was staring at me the whole time. And I was ready to fucking thump him.
And I was going out, and I went to the pub after the match. I was like, "Oh my god, everybody! I met Dom. No, man. No,
I reckon you would have got a mixed reception from
that. yeah. Like the let's get into that real quick. So we announced that we were going to have you on the show a while ago, but we didn't realize that. Actually, you didn't realize that I needed you for an hour, and you only had a half an hour. So we said, you know what, we'll reschedule it. But in all that meantime, Twitter fucking blew up and was just hating, you know, which Twitter usually does. We usually ignore Twitter. But yet Facebook and Instagram were like, I can't wait for that interview. Oh, you know, he's awesome on the fan cams and everything else. So once this goes live, I mean, there'll definitely be a good response everywhere but Twitter. Did we lose him? Are you there?
And then the Skype gods deemed it impossible for us to speak to anybody.
What sucks is that I'm hosting this, right? And so it's on. I think it's on my internet too. And I'm telling you, between the hail, between the lightning and the thunder.
Yeah. I'm still here.
That's why I keep looking out the window anyway, and that affects my internet too. So all right. Anyway, so what made you famous there is the Astra Gugu video.
Can you hear me? I've got a poor connection as well.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Hello?
Hey. I can hear thunder, man. Anyway. You good?
Hello?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Oh, nice one, yeah.
All right. Yeah, so what did your friends and family think, man, you know, after the Astra Gugu interview went viral?
I'll tell you what happened about that, right? Because now a few people seem to think You know, I'd gone to a rag and Europa League qualifier because tickets were stadium, and I'd just gone out of nowhere. I was pissed up and just got and done a foul mouth rant. Now, what happened? I had that summer. All I did were hello.
Yeah. We're shutting our cameras off so that your connection can go smoother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and talk.
Sorry. Yeah. So I had that summer we obviously qualified. That's season before we'd obviously qualified through 7th. Would have been easier if we'd finished 6th. We would have gone straight into the group, but you know. Now that summer, I remember because it weren't a very good summer because the Euros was rubbish, and our signings that summer were abysmal, and there was all this expectation and all this hope, you know, of us actually. What's the word? Building on the bowling season to take into the new stadium for the first season, and it was a very painful summer. I remember we spent the whole summer searching for a striker, which didn't come. I was, you know, very, very unhappy with it. So, you know, and the season started, you know, early for us at the end of July. We played NK Domzali, got through that. You know, and once we started, you know, playing the football, the feel good came. I couldn't relax very good. We don't have a very good squad. I think Creswell just got injured in pre-season. We didn't have a striker. We had a lot of the same players from the year before who were good, but you know it's always better to have new as well. And the ones that were there were very ineffective. Players like Faguli, Nordveit, Gökhan Toure. We signed a lot for the Europa League, I think. So anyway, when it got drawn, so I was all that summer basically. I worked so much overtime, and I planned all my days off on the basis we qualify for the group stage. I couldn't afford to go to Slovenia or Romania, unfortunately. So you know, and you know, I got obviously bonus pay from overtime for a potential European tour. Now the first leg was very frustrating to watch because we should have killed it off, ended up drawing 1-1, and we got an away goal. And then the second leg, now I was drunk because we were drinking all day. We did get there very early, but you know, that there was the expectation. You know, they knocked us out the year before, and you're like, surely it's not going to happen again. I thought we'd stick about 3 or 4 passing, to be honest, because I thought, now we know this. I thought surely after last year we would have learned, because you know no one knows. This is the danger of Europa League football. No one can predict it because teams that you don't know about, you're like, we never heard of them, don't know who they are. They're probably just, you know, part-timers, which is what, you know, I said, to be fair. But, you know, that's why it's very frustrating to lose. But they play a completely different way. And you don't know how, if you don't know a team, you don't know how to play against them. You don't know their weaknesses. You don't know their strengths. And that's a scary thing. And the fact we'd already played them years, and that night, man, we just presumed, I remember Jonathan Carey, who I think he missed 2 sitters, and it was just so agonising to watch us losing. And I thought, not again. And when we lost, you know, when that full-time whistle went, I thought, I've done all. I basically didn't have a summer because I was just working, you know, for to get money to earn a bit of extra money to go and watch us play abroad, and I thought it's all been for nothing. Obviously, I can do other things with it now, but that was the prime reason, and that's what annoyed me. And and then I looked at the squad we had out that night. I remember we brought on James Collins. We put him up front, a centre half. We put James Collins up front to try and get a goal to keep us in the Europa League. And I thought we shouldn't be bringing him on. We should have signed a striker who should have been banging goals in, so we wouldn't have to put someone like Collins up front. And that's when I thought, you know what, this is the owner's fault. They've done nothing all summer. We paid, and along with the fact that we had such a great season the year before, and now it's just a distant memory because what we achieved that season to get into Europe was over before it even begun. And all this was in my mind. They all just clashed together, and that's what made me go off on one. I was just so angry about, and I was upset because we blew a possible European adventure. I saw the group that Astra had, and they had Rome, and I think did they have Ajax as well? So we could have gone to Rome and Amsterdam for a few days, which would have been great. But
yeah,
and I remember getting home, and a few people were talking about Twitter, and I thought nothing of it. I was up early the next day, right? So I woke up, I went to work. I came home from work, and it was going on. It was going on the Lad Bible, the Sport Bible, and the Daily Express, random Facebook pages. And I thought it's quite funny, actually, to be honest with you. I was like, yeah. But if I could turn back the clock, I would never have done it. Never have done it. I haven't watched it in years.
Well, hundreds of thousands of people have watched it.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands. I think that's their top video too. I think, and
yeah.
It's
but
been.
No, I wouldn't. I do regret it, to be honest with you. But nothing I can do now. It all comes from the heart. I didn't go out there just to go viral and so everyone could see me. I didn't go out there to insult anyone. I just went out there because I just shouted and bawled because I was angry we lost. It all comes from the heart. So
it didn't really look.
Come up to me, talk to me about it. They had. Sorry.
It didn't look any different than any of your other fan cams. I mean, you're usually passionate about what you feel, especially after a loss. I mean, come on. But something as ridiculous as losing to the Romanian team. I don't even want to butcher the name, but you just you're passionate. Obviously, everybody has a few drinks at the games, and shit, that makes you a little bit more passionate, And but again, I've seen other fan cams where you were just as angry at the fucking team, or angry at the board, or whatever. But they didn't really go as viral. But that is what it is.
Sometimes you lose, but you're just disappointed. That game had so much right, and given who the opposition were, it was just such a disappointing and angry loss for me. And a couple of people do come up. A few people come up to me still and talk about, like you chaps are talking about it. It happens, but I don't like to look back on it, to be honest with you. Just, it's what happened. I haven't even watched it for years since it first went on. So, yeah. But
I think people just have to understand is that everybody has.
To be honest, I can see why people didn't like it.
Yeah. I think people just have to understand that people are going to have their opinions. Okay, you're not going to agree with everyone's opinions. Okay,
that's what it's for.
And that's what we have these YouTube channels for. That's what we have Twitter for. There's no need for people to take it personal. Well, we decided that we wanted to invite you on American Hammers TV because we think that you've got valid opinions, and that's what's important. We don't take sides on anybody's opinions or anything. And if anything, for people threatening to unsubscribe to our channel because we're having you on is a load of old fucking bollocks. Go unsubscribe. Sorry, Tim, but go unsubscribe. Every single fan has got a right to their own opinion, and they've got a right to their own opinion without anybody like pulling bullshit about it.
That's what
and that's what's important. And if anything, America that stands for freedom of speech and all of that old malarkey.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm here in the States.
A lot of the backlash of people. I mean, actually, a lot of the people who are looking forward to this interview, are from the United States. I mean, obviously, there's a big portion of people that watch the fan cams. But anyway, the fan cams, that's what it's for, right? Nikki and Dan and all them, they don't. They let anybody have an opportunity to get on the camera and talk, right? That's what it is, and that's the same thing with our show. Like, listen, we don't agree with every single thing, Dom. I mean, we were disagreeing about
Although I will say I did agree 100% with
so
you.
whatever, we're not having a fist fight over it. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But we're giving everybody an opportunity to speak. It is what it is. And same thing. That's why I try not to post too much on fucking Twitter, especially because, Christ Almighty, every time I post something, people think that like my opinion is. Like, I'm not getting paid to make transfer decisions, but I can make my opinion about what I think about a certain transfer decision. Doesn't mean it's going to happen or it's not going to happen, but don't fucking tell me, flip out at me about it. Anyway, that's besides the point. So Wayne, it's about 10 question time.
Twitter's a nasty place, man.
It is, man.
Twitter is
it's a necessary evil, though. Yeah,
it's got toxic. But where it crosses the line though is when people they get personal with it, and that's what I don't like. And and it's made people a little bit too. It's sometimes it's just a load of old bollocks. It really is a load of old bollocks. So sometimes you have to switch it off.
You got the rapid fire ready?
Yeah. So Don, we've got this section. It's called 10 quick fire questions. Okay. So I don't know how it's going to work as far as quick fire is concerned, because Skype is fucking us over big time today. so let's give it a shot. So it's just 10 questions. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and you just come to mind with what your answers are. You ready, mate?
Yeah, crack on.
Okay, so who is your favourite West Ham player in the current squad?
Declan Rice.
Who?
Declan Rice.
Okay.
Yep.
Who frustrates you most in the current West Ham?
Declan Rice.
Okay.
Yep.
Who frustrates you most in the current squad?
Felipe Anderson.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Apple pie or meat pie?
I'm going to say depends on what I fancy.
You wanker. Okay. What would you prefer? Win the FA Cup or top 6 finish?
FA Cup.
Okay. What do you love about West Ham?
I love that we, sometimes when we win games, it means so much more than it would for any other club. It gets that feeling, and I love how many friends I've made over the years. The guys who I sit with, they're all some of my closest mates now. It sort of brings people together in a way.
Beautiful. What do you hate about West Ham?
Twitter.
Nice one. What team do you love to beat more than any other?
We missed that
Tottenham.
one. Oh, there we go.
Tottenham. There you go. What's your favourite? Tottenham. What is your favourite curse word?
Tottenham.
Okay. Name a player, past or present day, that epitomises West Ham United.
CUN.
Who?
He's on a delay.
Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore.
We got it.
Bobby Moore.
Beautiful. Now, if you took a time machine back to meet Bobby Moore when he was alive, what would you say to him?
I would ask him what it was like being the only bloke on planet Earth to captain England to a World Cup.
Nice.
Nice one.
Nice. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I love your curse word being Tottenham.
No, he said, see you next Tuesday. It was on.
Oh, okay.
We got it on delay.
Oh, we got it on delay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're the same thing anyway, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
Absolutely.
That's my favourite curse word.
All right, how
too.
about this one? All right, so that's all the questions, right? Wait.
Yep, that's it. We're
All
good.
right, so let's ask him. What's your prediction for this season?
I said this last season, but I don't think we were very much ready last season. So I'm going to say what I said at the start of last season. I think the top 6 is going to be open for someone, an outsider. And I think if we can sort our consistency out, because we were consistent towards the end of last season, won our last 3 games. And, you know, I look at Chelsea, and they've got a transfer ban. They're going to have Lampard as manager, who's very unproven at the top level. So I'm looking at them as the weakling to drop out the top 6. And I think we should take advantage. And I think if we up our game, if we get the right players, if we are more consistent and more, then we can go places next season. But it all depends on consistency and signings.
Yeah, I think United is also a weak link potentially.
Oh, United are mid-table with us next season if we don't get top 6. They're bottom half.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you. On Arnautovic, you forgiving him?
When it first came out that he wanted to go, I sort of said, look, there's nothing official yet. Everyone was losing their minds because he waved goodbye. He started, well, not goodbye, but he started waving it when he got subbed off against us. And I was like, hang on a minute, just wait and see what happens. And then he didn't play against Bournemouth. He didn't turn up the next few games. And I thought I didn't want to get annoyed at him because he's a very, very good player for us. And there's obviously a lot of people who have their own opinions and like to get angry at him. But there were reasons why he wanted extra money moved to China. But unlike Dimitri Payet, he came back. He didn't go out completely out. Well, he was missing for a couple of games. I don't understand why we gave him a new contract. If I'm honest, I thought that was a bit weird. But he came back and he wasn't very good until the end of the season.
Yeah.
But at least he played, and everyone has a rough patch. Even the best, like Messi and Ronaldo have had rough patches during their careers. And he started scoring towards the end of the season. Hopefully he can kick on. I would no way sell him this summer. If anything, if we can get this Gomez, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. But if a very big if, play them together. But I'm not holding out much hope for Maxi Gomez. So even more. Excuse me, voice just went there. Even more reason to keep on out of it.
Yeah, true. The other thing is, I think this is the year that we probably have the best chance of winning a cup for Noble, because Noble, in order to solidify his legend status within the club, I think he deserves an FA Cup or even a League Cup. I really don't give a shit. He needs a trophy. That's not the Betway Cup.
We need a trophy. Most of us who were born in the 80s to now haven't seen us win a trophy. We were so close in 2006, and that day still haunts me.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I would give Pellegrini a lifetime contract if he won us the League Cup, because 100%. Then I can go to the grave. Then I can go to the grave happy, seeing us lift a trophy at Wembley.
It's true.
There'll be no better feeling in the world.
I mean, I got to experience an FA Cup win in 1980, and at the time you don't think it's going to be the last time you're going to see it, and I nearly didn't go to the match. And my mates called me up in the morning, and they're like, "We've got an extra ticket." are you on? And of course, you don't turn that down, and it will go down in my life as one of the greatest times of my life, along with my daughter being born. So, and I'd love for the younger generation, your generation, to be able to experience that, because there's just nothing like it.
No, for me,
there is a similar. The playoff final was a very similar experience.
Yeah, no, that's my cup final, really. Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of my West Ham history is the 11-12 playoff final. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Even that season was horrible. That was a really horrible season. I wouldn't look back on that as of course it was a memorable season, but I wouldn't really look back on it fondly, because that's it was just horrible to watch. It was the uncertainty of, are we going to go up and are we not? We were lucky we went up, because there's so many teams that go down and don't come back. Like, you just got to look at Sunderland for an example, and Bolton. But that elation when we won, and I'll know it's 7 years ago now, but I'll never ever forget that day. I'll never forget the sounds around me, the people stood next to me, my view of the goal. It's one of those games you just look back on, and if it comes on Sky, you just watch it all.
Yeah, that was actually when my group, the Dallas Hammers, that we started up. Me and one other mate, we went down to a local pub in Dallas, and he called me up. He said, "Let's go watch the playoffs down at this pub called the Londoner that's in Dallas." He said, "We'll probably be the only two idiots down there watching it." And we turned up, and there was a group of about 20 West Ham supporters. Oh yeah, there's my team's my group scarf. And we turned up, and there was about 20 other West Ham supporters down there, and some geezer by the name of Phil turns to me at halftime. He says, "You look like the sort of geezer that likes to organise shit. So get on it, get everyone's email addresses, and let's get this thing organised." And that's how the Dallas Hammers actually started up on that day. So, I'll never forget that match. It was a beautiful, beautiful day for us. We had an absolute blast, and we've been going for 7 years strong now, and get 50 people at the pub now, which is good. Yeah. And it's a family for me. It's something that I haven't seen in donkey's years since leaving England, 20 odd years ago. And I miss that.
It's good because people like yourself on the other side of the world, you still fully interact with the ones back at home. And I think it's important for the West Ham community for stuff like that. And it's very good. What you do is great.
We've met some of the coolest people on this planet, that are West Ham supporters. And, they're all characters. They're all different. It's been a fantastic ride so far doing the show, meeting people from all over the country, all over the world. Like tomorrow, which now that we're ending the episode right now, tomorrow, just so everybody knows, we have Steve Mothersole from the UK, just a regular West Ham fan from the UK who actually watches our show on a regular basis. So we invited him to come on as a guest. So we're going to talk to him at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So that should be good. That's 7 p.m. UK. And after that, we have the gentleman that we were supposed to have a couple weeks ago from Bakersfield, California, in the Fresno Irons. His name is David Oliver. He's going to be on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that should be good. And then we're not doing anything July 4th, just so you know. We don't have anybody really available. Everybody's going to be too drunk from July 4th to do anything at night. So
and here's something for Americans out there, Tim. Yeah, maybe you can help us clear this up as well, Don. Do we have a July 4th over in England?
A July 4th?
Don's thinking.
We know what it is.
Well, we have a July. What I'm getting at is when Americans ask me, "Do you have July 4th over in England?" Yes, we have fucking July the 4th in England. We don't celebrate it. It's not Independence Day if you're English. We have a July 4th, you plonkers. But we don't celebrate the day that you kicked us the fuck out of the country.
Okay. Yeah,
no,
you're right.
But we're aware of what Independence Day is.
Yeah. And we've been coming over to the States and stealing your jobs and your women ever since.
I don't see it like that.
Oh shit. So
I'm
anyway,
all for equality and all that.
I am too.
We're all human.
We are, mate. We are.
I would like to thank Dom so much for coming on. We've been looking forward to this for a while. I know a lot of you actually have been looking forward to this episode as well.
I have.
It's going to be pre-recorded, so if you're watching this, it is not live, even though there will be a live chat available. I don't know what time I'm putting it up yet, but I'll make sure it happens today. So the other thing is going to mention our sponsors again. It's drinkwaredesign.com. The link's in the description. Strava Craft Coffee, another link in the description. And what else? Oh, we have t-shirts available, new designs and all that good stuff on bonfire.com/AHTV-2. That means there's a new design up there. We also added V-neck shirts because I know a lot of you were asking for V-necks, and also children's t-shirts as well with our stuff. So check us out. The link's in the description for that as well. And what's the other thing? Oh, there's a Discord app group thing going on where we have a lot of hammers from all over the world. Doesn't matter where you're from. You don't have to be an American hammer to join our chat. We're talking about the Las Vegas event. There's a channel for that. We're talking about West Ham books in there. There's a channel for that. There's also what else is there? The American Invasion of London tour. We're going to grab a bunch of American hammers and head over in March to watch the Arsenal away and Wolves at home matches. So we're trying to plan that in there. So if you want to get involved with that, come on in the Discord app and chat with us, and let's coordinate that. And what else?
We'll be bringing plenty of Hershey bars and nylons.
Yeah, some Levi's. Yeah, all that good stuff. What else? Oh, yeah, that's it. So anyway, thanks, Dom, so much. I really appreciate you coming on, man. I really enjoyed this conversation with you.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, pleasure talking to you. No, thanks for having me on.
I appreciate that.
It's been great talking to you, lot.
Pleasure. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it, mate.
On you irons.
Great comment on.
All right.
You hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Thank you. No worries. Take care, boys. See you later.
Take care.